G'day and welcome to the 37th episode of the Destiny Down Under podcast. This week we're joined by absolute champion SwolyBible, and we only talk about the beta for like an hour and a bit. Really. It's a big one, but a good one. Cheers. Check it out. G'day and welcome to the 37th episode of the Destiny Down Under podcast. I am Log Power Slave, and as always, I am joined by Chicken Boy and an angry old man.
Hi.
G'day. Chicken Boy being Mylan, how are you, brother? What's been going on?
You know, it's hard being allergic to chicken. And the fact that you bring it up on a public podcast hurts my soul. We almost lost our guest this week because I'm allergic to chicken. And it's tough, man. It's tough only being able to eat meat, lamb, and fish. Okay? But good, thank you.
All right. And angry old man, a.k.a. Real-Time Sloth, how are you?
I'm okay. I'm
Have you recovered from last week? The amount of comments that I saw in like just the comments on YouTube, people going, "Holy shit, Sloth is so angry. What's going on?"
Sloth, you were savage last week. You were savage, dude.
I may have gone a little bit over the top with hunters. I'll be the first to admit that. That being said, to be perfectly honest, yeah, like a lot of people in the Discord and the YouTube and on Twitter are just like, "Hey, Sloth, you're an arsehole." I'm like,
no. For the benefit of those listening and not watching, Sloth just gave the biggest "I don't give a shit" look at ever. But we are joined this week, very special guest, SwolyBible. How are you, man? How are you?
I'm great, man. It's good to be here. I'm really excited. So,
yeah, dude, it's a good time to be excited.
Good to have you, man.
I think everyone's excited because it's the beta. But just quickly, before we get into the beta, we like to get everyone who comes on our podcast to sort of describe themselves to our audience in their own words, so that we sort of can't ruin you for them.
All right.
Yeah, Swolly, we have this thing where people lose subscribers and followers when they come on the podcast.
We're sorry.
We normally don't tell anyone until after.
Look at the time. Wow, it's
holy shit. Back to the Cheesecake Factory. Yes? Off I go.
I think Jess is calling me.
So what do you do, man? What do you do? Describe SwolyBible to everyone in SwolyBible's own words.
I mean, I'm mainly a Destiny streamer. I spend all my time on Twitch. I stream basically every day, 6 to 8 hours. But we're a PvP player right now. I wasn't able to get too much into. You're gonna kill me, but I wasn't able to get too much into the PvE in Destiny 1. It just didn't grab my attention, and I felt the replayability on it wasn't there for me. Which is what I'm really looking forward to in Destiny 2. But Destiny 1.
How many Grimmel cards have you read?
I'm sorry?
How many Grimmel cards have you read?
You could probably count it on 2 hands.
That's it. Get it. Now keep going, dude.
Other than that, we play a lot of PvP. We're a super community-oriented stream. And I'm just looking forward to being able to play some PvP that I find to be fun and replayable in Destiny 2. So that's what I'm hoping for.
Right.
Awesome. It's can confirm, as someone who lurks a lot in Mr. SwolyBible, that way I think it is on this particular dude's stream, can confirm he goes all right. So guys, not again, but if you haven't followed him, click on his name or click on the link that I will post very shortly. Go do it now, and then come back and listen to the things that we have. He's a good egg.
So I can confirm, good egg. I met this gent at name dropping time at Gathalian's place at Guardian. And I was look, I felt really nervous about meeting people. I'm pretty shy when he was like, "Hey, I'm Mylan Games," and like to introduce myself. So I was a bit of a loner, and I think I spoke to your girlfriend first. I think Swoly. And I thought she was a streamer, and I was like, "So, well, like, you're a streamer?" And stuff. She's like, "No, my boyfriend's a streamer." So I was like, "Oh, okay."
She actually used to be a streamer, though. I don't know if she told you that, but I actually met her through Destiny and the Twitch Destiny directory. That's how we met.
There you
go. Oh, really? Tell us. Are you gonna tell us
a good story? All right, we'll tell the quick version of the story. But pretty much, I had broken my ankle, which is how I discovered Twitch. because I was sitting I worked as a personal trainer in New York, and I was just sitting at home doing nothing because you can't work on a broken ankle. And I started watching her channel, and I was really bored one day, and I thought she was really cute, so I asked her if she wanted to play, and 3 weeks later she was visiting me in New York, and the rest is history.
Hey, nice. You can't argue.
There you go,
Can't argue with that, man.
Destiny loves
Just
stories.
together.
Hey, well, I mean, it's that is Destiny in a nutshell. We've had people do Destiny weddings. We've had our good friend Log,
Ben
Moxie
and
and Ben
Max,
of Glory that just got married recently, met on Destiny. So I mean, like, it brings people together. So you know, there's this sappy love story for the day. We do appreciate you sharing.
Do you know what? This is the funny thing though. Like, I would love to encourage, you know, that possibility for so many, but when I was at GuardianCon, the amount of poor like female streamers that got mobbed and had very, very awkward hugs from fans. I was
Wait,
like,
Matt,
oh my
did you
God.
see anyone do the hover hand like the?
Dude, I don't know who it was. I don't know which streamer it was, but she came in. I was near the front door, and she didn't have a pass. So, but she must have been up there because Kevin and all that helped get her in. And this guy just came out of nowhere like a bat out of hell, and like gave her this like almost smell your hair kind of hug. This like, And I'm like, it was
Oh no.
so Swolly, you're one of the people who somehow managed to balance not being a creepazoid and meet up with her. So well done, man.
Good,
she's,
man, good.
She's the one that creeped on me, so.
Oh,
That's
there
another
you
story I
go.
won't get into, but we reverse roles there.
Maybe that's the devil in the detail. There is that you've just got to work hard enough to get them to creep on you, and then it's okay.
Tell me about so you stream full time now, right?
No, I mean, I try to balance. Like, I have a full-time job that I work for a server hosting company for survival games and stuff online. So that takes up my mornings, and then a little downtime during the day, and then the rest of the night I'm streaming.
Oh, okay. So you're not a personal trainer anymore.
I do side work personal training, but I got a good gig working from home, so I took that over going to the gym and having to be away every day.
Absolutely.
So breaking your ankle was the best thing to happen to you.
Pretty much. Actually,
go,
was.
kids.
It's funny how things work, right?
How did
If
you
you didn't
break
break your ankle, you wouldn't have met your girlfriend, and you would have had another career in Twitch or your new job, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I probably wouldn't have discovered Twitch actually, because I wasn't even gaming at the time. It was just work. I mean, I was working from 5 a.m. to 8 p.m. every day. So.
How did you break your ankle?
It's the best thing that happened. I was playing. We were on our lunch break and we were just playing basketball. Landed the wrong way and
There you go, kids.
ended up in the emergency room an hour later.
There you go, kids. Get out, play some basketball, land the wrong way, it'll change your life. There you go.
That's exactly why you should stay inside and play video games all day.
Exactly.
Outside is dangerous. You should never go outside. Like, ever. You could get sick.
Sloth, with your camera issue thing that's going on at the moment, you look like you've never been outside. Today on the stream, a special guest, Bubble Boy. Oh, right. Okay.
Fuck you and the horse you rode in on. Anyway,
Can I ask more questions, please?
Go.
yes.
So tell me about this server host job. I have no idea. How do you explain this to someone who is absolutely technologically? I was going to use a wrong word. That I'm no good with technology. How do you explain what you do?
That's an understatement
Alright, so
of the century.
pretty much with games, if you ever play games like Ark Survival or Rust or 7 Days to Die and all those survival games, my company or the company that I work for basically runs the servers so that people can host their own games, so they can have private games and private matches with their friends and stuff like that. It's similar to like CS:GO, how clans will host their own servers.
Sure.
But we do that for just survival games like in Minecraft and things like that. I just do the back end work of it. So if something crashes or something goes down and people have a problem,
You're the man.
I make sure they don't want a refund or something.
Okay. Cool.
Fair enough.
There's a whole world out there that I just have no idea about. Like I have no idea that would exist.
It was a cool opportunity too, because I kind of came across it by accident. I was just renting one of their servers, and they tweeted if anybody wanted a full-time job, and I was like, oh hell yeah, I want a full-time job. And they got back to me within a day, and turns out they live the two bosses or the two owners live about 5 minutes away from me, and we go out and have beers all the time.
Oh, nice.
Actually awesome.
Hey.
Just saying.
Yeah,
Dude,
it worked out pretty well.
Why wouldn't you? Did you buy a lotto ticket? Because like you broke your ankle, picked up a chick, got into Twitch, and then like
I got a full-time job working from home.
Picked up a chick. Sorry, Lady Pornstar. I'm sorry that Matt is so insensitive. I'm sure you're quite lovely.
I'm going to end this cast now because I've just become acutely aware of how shit my life is. Calm down, Bubble Boy.
So, gentlemen, what are your thoughts on the D2 beta?
Oh.
I know we've got a lot of people in chat looking for some vindication about people's thoughts. There are some people people on YouTube who will be looking at this for vindication. People in chat, same thing. Swoly, let's start with you, man. What do you think of the beta PvE side first, and then we'll get into your arc a little after the fact.
All right. I mean, I'm as somebody who, as Destiny went on, stopped playing PvE pretty much. Like, you know, I did the last raid. You know, I did Wrath of the Machine probably 3 times or something like that. I stopped doing strikes altogether. Didn't do Nightfalls anymore. I love the direction that they're headed with PvE. I think it feels great. I think it looks great. The story was immersive. Like I felt like I could get into the story, and I felt like the story was actually headed somewhere, which is a big step in the right direction. Because you always hear people, and I know when you read the lore cards and you read the Grimoire cards and all that kind of stuff, you get a lot more into the story. But you know, I mean, fact of the matter is, a lot of people don't do that, or a lot of people don't even know that they can do that. So I'm excited. I'm excited for the direction of it because I'm a PvE guy, you know, and it's sad that the game didn't, you know, capture me with the PvE in Destiny 1. So I really wanted to do that in Destiny 2. So that's where I stand on.
Well, why don't we start the story missions? Because I think you bring up like a really good point. That I mean, I know it's the opening, you know, campaign mission, and I know that, you know, that's probably going to be some of the best. But there are lots of nice details in there that we haven't technically seen in Destiny 1. Like, you know, just seeing like Cade come in and say some lines, the difference between that and him over voice comm was just a huge, like, oh my god, it's Cade. And then he whips out the golden gun and like, wow, that sucks you in, right? Then you see Shax as well. I know this is the opening mission, so we did get a lot of interaction with all of those heroes, but I hope there's some more things like that where the missions make you slow down for a second, because if you go to strike missions, people just blast through it. But the campaign had this nice ebb and flow where there are little portions where you wanted to slow down because there was something interesting to listen to or to hear, and that's what really made the story pop a little bit more than D1. So I'm hoping that continues through some of the campaign missions. Obviously, we can't have Shax and Cade every time, but other vendors, other NPCs, other sort of interactional things.
I think that you touched on a really good point there, Matt, in that in Destiny 1, you get told to go and do these things, and it's almost like you go, oh, here's your little test tube to go and do the mission in, and it feels sterile, and you don't feel particularly connected to the people sending you on the quest or who you're doing the job for, where when they pop up and they're part of the active, you know, like Cade, or even Zavala popping the bubble, you know, like, you can interact with them. They're there. It grounds it, I think. And while, yeah, I'm hesitant to say we're going to see a shitload of it in Destiny 2, because I imagine there's a lot of scripting work and things like that probably make it difficult to implement. I do think that it's a big step forward, a huge step forward. It's a step forward in terms of like the characterization that we saw with the Taken King and really bringing Cade to the fore, and that was a good step. This is another step in the right direction, I believe.
Yeah. And they even added other little bits and pieces. So if you like break down that first campaign mission, you have those characters, but you had things like, you know, you turn the corner and you see like a Red Jack getting stomped by, you know, Cabal, or you exit the tower hangar and you actually see this big, you know, you see the Cabal command ship, you know, looming across the skyline with the Traveler trapped in there, and then you board the command ship. So like it was actually so much easier to follow what you were doing. It wasn't just, shoot enemies repeat. I was like, I actually know what's happening here as we do this mission. But once again, first campaign mission probably going to be the best if they can maintain any of that. Spot on.
While we're talking about this, I just want a quick moment of silence. The ball, I think we've all seen it probably on Twitter now. The ball popped on the stairs in the main foyer of the tower. The ball is dead. Long live the ball.
What? I don't know what we're talking about.
Matthew, you insensitive shit. The purple ball.
Oh,
they killed the fucking ball.
The purple ball,
Where?
Matthew. Jesus.
Jesus.
Oh my.
Who throws the shoe?
That is exactly where we ended last week, isn't it?
No, but and I was just about to say that there are some things that, like, I played through the story 3 times. So, like, all 3 characters, test them all out and all that sort of thing, like most people did. And I picked up something new every time. Every damn time. Like, there was... so the ball, there was one. There was what's-her-face's urn. Eris's urn. Yeah. And like there was something in the hangar that really caught my attention. I have to go back and play it and find out exactly what it was. But I remember looking at it and going, "Oh, okay, that's something that's happened." So I mean, like, there you go. Excuse me, sorry. Like you said, Matt, like the way that the first story mission plays, the way that it's all out warfare straight off the bat. There's no bullshit, I guess you could say. There's no massive lead up to it. It's just there.
Yeah,
I dare say you could say Destiny 1 was the lead up, but it is just there. And like you've got all these characters and everything's coming at you, and you like everyone's eyes have just gone out of their head. I think Bungie have done an amazing job with that particular story.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
Did anyone else feel ripped off when Akora Nova bombed that whole group of troops and you didn't get any orders from it?
I was just going to say that.
Yes?
I was going to say I was angry that she stole my kills, but...
And then she used her super like immediately after.
Yeah, I'm worried about her.
That's not D2 accurate, that's for sure.
That and her Nova Bomb moved at more than fucking 1 meter per second. So it's definitely not the current Nova Bomb.
Yeah. She's using Lance. She was using Lance. It's fine.
Right, okay.
On the topic of Easter eggs though, did you notice the jukebox is still playing in the hangar?
How did you notice
I think
that?
I think that might have been it, to be honest.
That might be what you're talking about. I think Destiny Overwatch. I think I saw a video from that gent. If you go to the hangar underneath Future War Cult near Dead Orbit, the door is closed that goes down to whatever that area is down there.
The bar. The pub.
The bar.
Jeez, Matthew, it's a pub. How do you not know that?
And if you stay there long enough, you can hear. They said that it's that Paul McCartney song that they made, and it's like on a broken record. That's the Easter egg.
I think we can confirm that the Cabal haven't actually come to take the light from the Traveller, and they've just come to turn that fucking thing off because of the Paul McCartney song.
Off.
Just like, oh, someone was broadcasting it out into the universe, and they found the source. Fuck this. We're going to annihilate the whole tower because of that Paul McCartney song.
They're not, They're not actually there for the Traveller. They're to turn off the... Rick Hack posted it too. Yeah, cool.
The thing that really grabbed me about the end of the... I'm really curious about... When the leech, I guess you could say, I'm not sure what it is in the D2 storyline universe yet, but the leech, as soon as it attached itself to the Traveller, and I guess the only term that I would use, your inner soul, like your light leaps out of your body and it's there in a physical manifestation before just going away. Ghost starts to die, you grab him, blah, 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 blah. I would never have thought that it would be so that was truly not shocking, I guess you could say, but it was eye-raising.
It was emotive. It was very emotive.
It was very
That
emotive.
was the best cutscene I have seen thus far in Destiny.
I have one criticism.
Exactly.
I agree.
Yeah.
Why?
What?
The last kick that Gaul, when he kicks you off the thing, it is the wimpiest kick of all time.
It's just a
Yeah.
It just looks so wimpy.
Okay. I've been complaining about this.
Stuff.
I've been complaining about this on stream too, because I was like, you know what? He takes you down, he boots you halfway across, he bitch slaps you, and then he just does this little push kick, right? It should have been like a neck snapping like front face kick, right? But
and story ended D2 with
drop kick or something.
yeah, just fatality. You know, your spine just exits your body.
He kicks your head off.
Do you know what? By the way, if anyone can gift that, if anyone could make that difference, so it's a Mortal Kombat fatality.
We're gonna have to get Swoly in. He's gonna have to fucking do some personal training with Gaul to get that kick strength up, man. That was weak.
No, but this is what my chat said, and it changed my mind. And they were like, you know, it is to emphasize how weak Guardians are now. There was a big, you know, juxtapositioning between doing this really pathetic kick, and that's how weak Guardians are. He doesn't even need to kick you hard. He can just go boop and just push you off the edge, right?
Yeah,
and I was like,
you should have done that with his finger.
That's a fair call.
He should have just like licked you a little bit.
yeah, exactly. Thank you. Yeah.
Just a
But
flick
yeah,
of the blade.
it was very that cut scene and just the way that the tower looks. Now Shaxx is fucking huge, by the way, like huge.
He's always been huge though.
Yeah, I
you just
know,
never
but
see him
like-
in first person.
Like when you look at him, when he gives you the weapon, when he pulls the door open, he is like
A monster.
almost as big as SwolyBible.
I-
But you know,
Let's not get carried away.
I had a Titan Spire forming over Shaxx. I was pretty happy with it.
but no, that first mission was very that mission, the cutscene, the way it played out, the fact that you could, you know, it was very, very well done, and congratulations to Bungie for at least getting some sort of emotion out of me there, whether it's like hatred or like, oh my god, this is happening right now. I'm not sure about you gents, but that's exactly what it was for me.
I think, you know, the message that they've been saying about, you know, it's about the light and it's about what the light means to Guardians. I think they did that. They delivered that with that cutscene. You know, when you grab your dead ghost essentially and you try to sort of protect it, and you know, you've all of a sudden shocked by losing your light. Like they did what they said they were trying to make you feel, which was trying to understand Guardians' relationship to light, how much it means to us, and how someone could come in and take it. And I was like,
Yeah,
well,
dependent
they're
it
on
we are.
track at the moment. They're on track at the moment.
All right, well, I think that
That's
moves
the campaign.
moves us into the strike. Now, I'll be honest. When I first played the strike, I didn't go in with a full fire team, and it was probably the biggest mistake that I have made in the whole beta so far. Me and Keg went in, and just the two of us, and thought, oh, you know, we'll get a third. It turns out that literally anyone who's solo queuing for that activity is just there to fuck around and look around the map and not actually do the strike. So we ended up kind of two-manning it. It took a bit longer than we probably would have liked. But on the whole, I was really impressed. Especially the boss encounter with the disappearing floor and dropping through the levels and all that sort of stuff.
That was pretty cool.
I will say that the checkpoints probably need a bit of work because we got like right to the end and then like got done and then all the way back to the start.
Yeah,
I was a little bit dirty on that.
That
but
seemed a little bit cheap too.
it didn't feel right, but you know, be that as it may.
Wally, how many strike missions did you play? Did you play much of the strike?
I did it twice.
Yeah.
I did it twice.
Thoughts?
I liked it though. I liked it. I love the boss fight. And it has me really excited for what's to come in raids because you know how the strikes are just kind of like a mini raid fight, and there's not as many mechanics in those usually as a raid boss. So I'm excited. I think it's gonna be good. I loved how it changed the floors. I love how it included each element, and I don't know, it was just it added that extra element that I felt strikes were missing because you don't want a strike to be too difficult. You don't want it to be too challenging or anything like that, and I don't think it was. But it definitely kept you involved and kept you on your toes and not just camp in a little corner and pop a bubble. And burn down the boss.
See,
especially that second tier of the fight, because there was all that. I mean, I've only played through it the once, but there was all the orange, fiery shit all over the floor. So you're constantly having to hop around, find safe spaces, and then once it clears, re-engage. I thought it was awesome. I thought that was particularly not enjoyable, but a good mechanic.
Well, the first, I'm not sure about the 3 of you fellas, but the first time I did the strike, I joined halfway through. So I missed out on the first half. I went back and did it another 2 times. But, I was like, this is really cool. And then I went back and did it from the start and just running around seeing the little pockets of fallen there and thereabouts, seeing the Cabal, like all of the Cabal doggos, the dudes with the swords, with the cleavers, the gladiators. Holy balls! I think
cool.
we wiped 3 times there because I was just like, what the? Because I was with Winky and Rowie, I believe. So two friends of Logan mine, and we were like, what the feck? Like these things cut us up. It was so very confusing. But the strike is very, very well done. I think it's well done.
Can I be hypercritical? I want to be devil's advocate.
There's always one. Yeah, go for it.
I think strikes will be the weakest part of Destiny 2. And I think there'll be a means to grind loot, and I think you need that though. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think you need something that you can just switch off, and you can talk to shit, and you can team up, and you can just grind some engrams and legendary loot. But at the moment, I think that will be probably the weakest component of Destiny 2, especially if the campaign continues on this pathway. And then you add on top of that, like patrol missions, dungeons, lost sectors, the exploration, that's going to get a lot of intrigue too. So I think the strike missions on a whole, they're Destiny 1 strikes. They've added the different areas, like the boss has some different mechanics now, and they get different health levels and that kind of thing. But I also think that they're slightly more tiresome because of how long the supers take to recharge.
Yeah.
And I actually think that would be more enjoyable if the recharge on the supers, if I could go into a strike, because actually we'll get onto supers in a sec, but I actually think using your supers more in PvE to practice, a lot of people will be interested in, because they are quite different. And I think if they recharge a little bit quicker, there'll be more appeal to go into strike missions and play around with your supers a bit more.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if anyone's got anything else to say on the strike, we'll go. But I mean, we can move into just talking about the subclasses now, because I think that's a pretty important segue.
That's
very. You raise a good point, Matt, in that like I am legitimately seeing people talking about combos in supers. Like, you want to go about using your do this do the shield throw first, and then you can do this and that, and then you might get your shield back at the end, like things like that, where it's gone from being I'm the striker titan, and I'm probably a bad example here. I'll just push the shoulder buttons and slam, and that's it. It's done. I don't think about it. But now it's there's a strategy to it, and there isn't really a way for anyone to practice that at the moment. And I mean, that's be that as it may. It's a beta, but it's also really like I have played games of Control that have gone the distance, like not mercied or anything, and I've not even got one up.
It's hard to practice. It's hard to practice.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm trying to do the pike glitch for the supers, just to literally practice the combos with Defender, and the Arcstrider combos have got like 3 or 4 combos that they can do, and plus mid-air. And I keep goofing it. I finally get my chance to use my super in competitive PvP and just goof it up. Just awful. But I love it.
Because you're average at PvP, Mylan.
Hey, not
we're
anymore.
All average. We're all average.
Swoley, what do you think of the Sentinel and the pole not pole dancer Arcstrider?
I love them. I think a lot of people are giving the Arcstrider crap for no reason. I think supers just need to be learned, like you said, but there's not a lot of room to practice them right now, because there's a lot more to them than there were in Destiny 1, which I love. Like when I went on Reddit and I saw that there were all these different combinations for Arcstrider, I got really pumped up to try it out and try Arcstrider. But I think people just got to learn it. And it's going to come with time, and there's going to be some adjustments to it and all that. But I love the idea of there being combinations and you actually having to be good with the super now, instead of just popping a slam.
It's kind of become like the sword in Crota. Like I think everyone's there's going to be always this conversation about what's the best way to get the most out of it. Like what's the continually refining things or changing things. And I mean, there's going to be balance updates as we go on and things like that, and it will change, and it will, people will constantly be reevaluating how best to use your super. So I think it adds a layer of depth that definitely wasn't there before.
Yeah, I like the push to win with the combos too. That's a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah,
what's that?
Supers versus supers in PvP is a lot of fun to watch too.
Yes,
seeing the different combinations versus each other.
The as much as I gave Hunters shit last week, and I stand by what I said, but the most fun that I had in D2, like obviously the striker being able to like continually run around strike and shoulder charge and be the flash, more or less, the flash that punches things more often than not. The most fun I had in PvP in D2 beta was the Arc Strider. And like it's because it's like your hunter, if you roll near an enemy, it brings your melee up. If you kill the enemy with the melee, it brings your roll up. So you play aggressively, risk versus reward. You could like really good people with high mobility or all that sort of thing could really be. I don't want to say the bane of the Crucible, but could really put a few people in their place, if that makes sense. So like you've got your golden gun, which I've been told there is so there's 6 shots with your golden gun, but there is a perk that and it's over 6 seconds, but there's a perk that brings it back down to 3 that brings it back up to 13 seconds. So if you can continually dodge and all that sort of thing as the Arc Strider, you might be able to get around a golden gun and just smack him up the side of the head with your pole, if that makes sense.
Well, I mean, I agree. I think you're seeing a lot more super shutdowns as well without having to use a super, and because it's no longer a push to win button. It's like, okay, this gives me a fairly good advantage, but it's not guaranteed. Like you don't necessarily need to run away anymore. Like if an Arc Strider comes at you and you've got 4 people, you can team shot them easy. They're gone. Unless they're really skilled with the combos and can close that distance and do the melee ground attack, or you do the palm strike or whatever. So I feel like the supers aren't as threatening unless they're super skilled with it, and that's great to see as well.
That's what I've been trying to kind of tell people too, because on Twitter and everything, you've seen a lot of complaints like, I can't get a single kill with Arc Strider. And I think this is not about these supers, and especially in PvP, are not about just popping the super and all of a sudden you win the round because you popped the golden gun, or you win the round because you popped your blade dance. It's about popping them at the opportune time and being able to actually execute with it, which is great to see.
Yeah. Either that or just controlling a zone. It's not, like you said, it's not push to win button, but it's a zone control type situation. I'm not talking about the game type, but I'm talking very much like from a MOBA perspective.
It's area denial. Like you can
area denial. Like if you popped a Sentinel on B, i.e. on the casual map of D2 on Nessus. On Nessus, yeah, like if you popped your Sentinel at B and you popped a bubble by holding your bumpers down or whatever it is, or you just stood there and just held B and just kept the attackers on the back foot at A, like that's winning a game without getting any kills with your super, but it's an effective use of your super. Now, correct me if I'm wrong for the dudes who are out there who are PvP gods, i.e. this man and a few people in chat that I've seen. But it's a welcome change. It's a welcome change from D1 to D2. The only issue that I have that we talked about pre-stream is maybe it's my internet, maybe it's not, but the 10 tick rate servers, from what I've heard, they are 10 tick rate now.
10 hertz, you mean?
Yeah, it's 10 hertz servers. You're getting a lot of trades. And with the game being the time to kill being shorter, I think it's shorter than what it was. It's very.
It's not shorter. Time to kill.
I said, it feels like it's shorter. I don't know. Well, there you go.
Swoly, what do you with your line of work? Do you probably have a bit more knowledge about matchmaking, or not really?
No, not really. Actually,
okay.
A little different kind of thing.
Different stuff. Okay. I mean, look, I've been playing with a lot of guys in the US because I've been on stream and I've been getting a full team. So I haven't noticed too many issues, even though I'm in the US. So that's been pretty pretty nice to see. I can't really comment yet. I've only had one game where I saw people just like bugging out and just teleporting and stuff. But apart from that, I found that the shots I fired went where I wanted them to go for the most part, I think.
I haven't had any really negative experiences as yet at all. I played with George Sloth.
Yeah.
He's in France. I was playing against German people, or either that or just huge fans of Rammstein because of their names. I was just judging. But like I had no dramas, and like I think the thing now is too, and it's partly with that, and it's partly also with the way the weapons are set up. In it, it doesn't feel like there's any particularly cheap kills. Like there's no, I just got shotgunned. It's like, no, the guy had to wait for the power ammo to then load the shotgun.
Oh man!
And like, you get done, you're like, no, well, fair enough. He had the power. So I think in that, I've been heaps less pissed off than I have if I'd just been rolling around in the Crucible in Destiny 1. I can say that.
It's going to be interesting come a game type if they return Mayhem and then move Mayhem to like a 6v6 again. It's going to be a very interesting sort of. It'll be a throwback to D1 for sure, but like with the supers not being with abilities not being as prevalent, like people won't be able to go around and go sticky, 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 and like get 3 kills in an instant. They're going to have to fight more, I guess you could say.
Yeah, it's brings the focus back to gunplay, and I think that's
gunplay.
The
gunplay is
and the gunplay is incredible. Like Bungie have been doing that for decades now. Honestly, they've been head and shoulders, in my opinion, above everyone else. Do
you think it's? We need to move on to some more PvP, like the different maps and different types. But with the gunplay, do you think that the abilities are too underwhelming?
I think, like in the grand scheme of things, no. But I think people think that they feel that way about it now, because it's just a really abrupt change.
Yeah,
I think people are like, like someone's excited to go in and play the Arc Strider, and for 3 games don't even get their super up and get to use it, and then they use it and get picked off and don't even get to kill anyone with it. Of course, they're going to get on Twitter and go, "This is shit!" Like, they're just angry. They just don't know what they're doing, and it's a huge change to sort of catch up on.
Okay.
And
I agree with
it's just like the supers. I mean, you can't just use your grenade whenever you want to. If you're in a one-on-one engagement, your enemy has a grenade and you don't, because you decided you want to throw your grenade at the beginning of the round and you're not going to have it for the rest of the round. That's your fault for not being tactical about it.
Yeah.
Okay, own up. How many people have moved their cursor to throw a grenade and then realized that that's still charging? I do that.
Oh, dude.
So many times.
Dude,
I was like, grenade, oh, no grenade, grenade, oh, no grenade.
I'm a Titan too, and I've got more. I think we still get like 2 grenades. We can hold 2 grenades or something, and I still find myself empty.
Yeah.
But of the subclasses we've played, is there anything that you kind of really think is glaringly out of not right, or I mean, it's not really my nature to be too critical about this sort of thing. I see it for a beta, but is there anything that you think where people are complaining about it that is really warranted? I had a conversation. I'll put it this way: I had a conversation with Tower last night. And Tower is a hunter, and I did lower myself for that period of time to speak to a hunter. But he was he is just a golden gun guy. He loves golden gun, and he sort of pointed out that you crack this golden gun, and you get 6 shots, but you get 6 seconds too, and there's no way that it's possible, even if they were all lined up, for you to get more than 4 kills.
Well, there's only 4 people anyway, so...
I know. Dude, I got 6 kills with the fucking Fist of Havoc last night. They just, I mean...
People respawned.
Yeah, they respawned and then ran at me again. But even if that were the case with the golden gun, you wouldn't get that opportunity because it's over so quick.
I think hunters might be a tad... It's not a huge... I don't think there's a huge difference. They might need a tad, very small sort of rework. I think some of those numbers might be a bit underwhelmed. I don't know.
In PvP, if this whole go back to 3 shots, 13 seconds, PvP is I can see that being a thing. PvE wise, with the 6 shots, if you see 6 Minotaurs and your golden gun's still at the same power, guess what? 6 Minotaurs, bang, 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 down.
No,
I think
man.
it's more of a.
It's pretty underwhelming, and I just played a little bit then. I couldn't kill a non-major with 1 bullet.
What? What, like
a Minotaur, red bar Minotaur, 1 bullet didn't instantly kill him. It was 2 shots.
There you go.
So you think?
So I don't know. I haven't played enough of it in PvE to know, but maybe I don't know.
Yeah, well, there you go. I mean,
I got more kills with Golden Gun in PvP than any other class so far.
Yeah, okay.
And because I think that's because it's probably the most like D1 because I didn't have to worry about a new combo or I just get overwhelmed when I use the Sentinel because you just have so many options. Like, do I block, do I hit, or do I throw my shield? And then I end up doing nothing.
You just stick to the lesser classes, all right, Matt? You stick to the lesser classes, leave the Titan to us, okay?
That was our barb for the week.
No, there are some things that do need tweaking. Like, okay, so, I mean, what are your criticisms, gentlemen? What are your criticisms of...
look, I've already said it.
That could be buffed a little bit or changed a little bit. Like, this is basically what Destiny 2 is going to be released at. It is a beta, but it's a stress test, not a beta per se.
Yeah.
Swoly, do you have any criticisms for any classes or anything like that, man?
I think overall, one of the biggest criticisms that I have and that I've also seen is people are not happy with your health regen timer. Like the time that it takes you to start regenning health and then get your health back to full health. Especially in PvP, it takes for I think Game Sager was saying it takes about 10 seconds or something for you to start regaining your health or get it back to full.
What are the stats though? I mean, what are the armor stats? Because I played for a little bit. I didn't grind for 24 hours like some people did or anything like that. I haven't played it as much as other people. But isn't there armor stats? So you'll brings up your health recovery to 10 and say your mobility to 4 and your armor rating to, or your resilience rather.
There are different drops on the armor pieces, man. But like I've got the ones that are recovery based, and it's still slow, man.
Still takes a while.
It's still
there you
slow.
go.
You know, I saw Dado did actually timed it between D1 and D2, and it is slower, but it's not a lot, but it does make a difference. I actually think it's probably in a sweet spot. I'd like that if you have 1 grenade and you for the next 2 rounds or whatever, and you throw that and you get some damage on that target, then you can actually bolt over there and know that if you go in a 1-on-1, they're going to have a little bit less health that hasn't just immediately come back.
Yeah, I can see your point.
So it's more
I think it works better with your abilities, because if you've got less abilities, you don't want, like, you just waste grenades, right? Like if they just ran off and got their health back straight away.
Right. I see how it could work with the current timers and stuff. What I was referencing with Game Sager was he was testing some stuff out last night and saying that he could get in a gunfight with somebody and almost kill them, die, and then respawn and run back and get in the same gunfight, and the guy wouldn't have his health back yet. So he would be able to win a gunfight easily on the control map, because the control map's so tiny.
How to win gunfights? Die first.
You know what? That's that such a bad thing? It's interesting. Is that such a bad thing? It means there's a lot of more push me, pull me type situations. Well, so instead of being constantly aggressive, you take 2 shots, you need to back the hell off.
Yeah.
I'll admit to that like last night playing, especially Countdown, that I was way more willing to just run away or retreat, I suppose is the correct word. Like if I knew that I was at a disadvantage, I completely just bailed. Like it made everything I did more deliberate, because I knew that I wouldn't be able to run in there and just sort of kill a guy and there's another guy and then like get my health back at all. You just can't. It's impossible.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is, are people using their healing rifts? Maybe we're not using those abilities as well as we should do. Are people putting down the Titan shields as a way of blockading and allowing their health to regen, and then, having their teammate put down a healing rift so that it comes back quicker,
Yeah, it's true. That's true. I haven't played
So
with
has
that
me
many
running
warlocks,
Warlock.
actually.
Rip warlocks. Where are they?
You know what? My criticism of the subclasses is that the warlocks feels really underwhelming. The Dawnblade feels really underwhelming.
I don't know, man. It's scary when someone cracks it, though.
So
I mean, so is every super.
I had the same opinion, and yesterday I only played Dawnblade, and now I'm absolutely in love with the class. And I actually think I hate Warlocks. Destiny 1, no one hates Warlocks more than me, but I actually...
Hey!
You've come to the right place. We hate everyone.
And especially if you look at Voidwalker, if you look at the locked subclass tree, a lot of what they have are like health regen abilities and grenade regen abilities and stuff like that. So if you're really playing that class well and you can unlock those perks, I mean, you're going to have tons of grenades. You're going to have, your health is going to be coming back constantly. And in a game where your health recovery matters a lot and you have that slow health regen, I think it's going to be a pretty powerful class if you can master it.
I saw a void bomb today that was absolutely hilarious. So, because it's got tracking, someone jumped in the air and it tracked them. And then they blinked out the way and it just went off into the distance. Just this, it just off into the distance. Like it didn't hit any, because it didn't hit the ground and explode. And this massive Nova bomb just floating out to ocean.
Na na na.
Oh wow!
It's I don't know. Like I may have to play some more of it to get a bit more of a hold on it. Honestly. In regards to Dawnblade, the Nova is the Nova. I don't think really much change there. Striker Titan, the shoulder charge is not so much used as at least for me, as an aggressive tactic.
No,
it's more of an evasive tactic, more so.
I mean, I think the interesting change that they've made there is that basically you keep that charge unless you connect with it. Like, you can run around and shoulder charge as much as you want. You don't lose that shoulder charge until you hit someone. So
exactly.
Yeah, I don't know.
So it takes for an age to come back up. Like it's definitely a last sort of usage, if that makes sense. Like a last chance usage.
A weapon of last resort.
Last resort, thank you.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a weapon of last resort, but it is more of an evasive thing rather than a aggressive thing.
What are people's thoughts on the different types of Crucible, the countdown and control map?
Before we touch on that real quick, can I say one complaint that I have about the Nova Bomb?
Yep,
absolutely.
Yeah. A Titan shield. I don't know if you guys know this, but a Titan shield completely, no matter if it's the half shield or the full shield, completely blocks the Nova Bomb.
What?
Oh, really?
Which I think is pretty broken in Crucible, because all you got to do if you see a Nova Bomb, which is incredibly slow coming towards you, is just pop up a shield and you're safe.
What happens if you throw your shield at it?
No.
No, I mean, you mean that he means the
ability shield,
the ability shield,
or the Sentinel shield.
The ability shield. So
wait,
when you hold down your slide button or your crouch button, that blocks the Nova Bomb.
No, does that block it? Okay, that's broken. I was thinking of the Sentinel shield because I've heard that if you block with the Sentinel shield, you can block all 6 Golden Gun bullets and not die.
Well, it's super versus super. That's always going to happen. But an ability versus a super.
Yeah, you're right. There's a disparity there.
Actually, that being said, I watched something on Twitter the other day from T1 Gigs, and he popped his half shield, his rally shield, or whatever it's called, and had the Titan AR
sweet business
minigun sweet business thing, and he literally knelt behind it, started firing, and just kept crouching, standing up, and he just kept reloading his magazine. So similar to the SGA,
it never slowed down. It just went.
It never slowed down. He was literally just reloading, crouching, reloading.
Just
crouching,
a turret gun.
Yeah,
crazy.
That's all it was. Like, think of the Warthog turret from fucking Halo 1. That's what it was. Like,
he must have been shooting his shield every time.
Yeah, he was chipping it.
Yeah, he was.
He was chipping it.
Yeah, okay.
But it's like. He was only just jumping back in. I got on and tried it last night and got my head blown off, so it's not as easy as it looks. I'm like, I'm going to do this. Nope. You shit house log. Go away.
Yeah.
So
countdown is cool. I like Countdown. I think it's a cool thing to it's a cool idea. I got really salty playing it because like before the update, which we'll get to in a sec, before the update, it was we'd go in, we'd pub stomp someone, we'd go back into another game, we'd get utterly destroyed. And mainly because they were carrying my ass because I can't PvP for shit. But that's beside the point. Like it I don't know. And control is control. The map was tiny and it was a lot of fun. Yeah.
My thing with it was I'm really enjoying Countdown. However, this is not a mode for solo queuers.
No,
you,
God, no.
You will not. This is like going to trials without microphones. It's really fun. Everyone on comms. If you go in comms at the moment, I think there's probably a fair few doubles and like solo queuers in there. You will likely win. Like we were winning games easily, and we weren't good PvP players. We're just doing the call outs, market and rugs, and we're able to lock down areas and plant bombs. And that felt really cool to actually not be really technically good at PvP and actually pull out some wins with communication and teamwork. And that was like solid. But
I think that's what they were going for, honestly, to have a little bit more teamwork in what it is.
Yeah.
Anyway,
team shot and you'll win, right? And that probably comes down to that health regen as well, with how it comes into play. But you are just gonna have an awful time solo queuing Countdown, and that's a shame. That's like the raid version of PvP now. There'll be people that are like, oh, I never play competitive because I don't have a team.
Yeah,
the biggest issue that I run into with Countdown is people leaving the game, so you get stuck in a 3v4 or a 4v2 or something like that.
That being said, I watched Matt lose. He was two games up. And he lost to a 3-man squad this morning. So I mean, anything could happen.
Was that when? Was that before or after Fruit raided you?
Before.
Oh, thank fuck.
Oh, it was good. It's a good sort of new way of looking at PvP, I guess. Newish.
I'm not interested in control at all. I just feel like that. I don't know. I really like the slow tactical pace of Countdown. I think that's my jam. I don't really enjoy sort of run and gun control maps.
I enjoyed it for something to take less seriously. I mean, we came the same squad that we were playing. My experience, we played Countdown for probably about 10 matches, 15 matches or something last night, and we kind of just smashed everyone to begin with, and then started coming up against really good teams, and then started just getting the shit kicked out of us. Yeah. So I think, touching on the this week at Bungie, they have said that the skill-based matchmaking in there, it's just given less priority than connection-based matchmaking. So that's in there. It's a factor, and we sort of got to that point, and it sort of sapped the fun out of it a little bit. But I mean, going forward for the life of the game, I think it's a good thing, and I think once they've fine-tuned it a little bit, it'll help. But going from that back into control, we mercied like 4 games in a row. We were just going from that level of communication back to people who are like solo queuing and more of that sort of stuff. It was like to the point where we were sort of like, oh, maybe we should stop taking this so seriously. But it was just that we were in the mindset from Countdown. It was just that we were you're like, I'm doing this, go in here, right, go, okay, they're at sea, blah, 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 whatever. Just really good call-outs. And I think the thing that is going to be sort of weird to see going forward is if Destiny actually does have a casual playlist. Because that's what they're setting this quick play up to be. But you can get some frighteningly fucking good people in there. Like, you still come up against them. And it's not... Like, the 4v4 means that if anyone isn't pulling their weight, you lose. So it makes it more competitive. Where, like, I'm still holding out hope that maybe not on release, but some point down the line, we're going to see like a big team variant, like 8v8 on a big map with vehicles, that sort of shit, where it's objective based, it's not kill based, and everyone it just sort of takes the whole pressure off it. I think that it probably still needs that because people are still going into control now and getting fucking stomped, and it's meant to be the casual crucible, like. I don't know.
But this, I've just had a realization that I've seen this before. Like, this is Overwatch all over again. So you've got your quick play, and you'll come up against teams that are just average at your skill level, and the people that will, like, at plat and above, diamond and above, who will just stomp you. So, like, it's to change it up a bit. Like, if they were going to do Iron Banner, which some people are saying in the chat right now, they need a big team playlist. Nothing like Combined Arms, which is just horrible. But yeah,
I don't even hate Combined Arms. I just think there's not enough people in the game. You know, like if it had been 8v8 on those bigger maps, it would have been fine. Did Swoly just get banned? You come in here and try and tell people things. Get out.
So we haven't asked you, but you're the PvP man. What do you think?
Oh, well, the thing that I'm happy about is that they separated the the competitive and the quick play playlists for, they have the same matchmaking for the beta, but they said they're gonna adjust them separately come final release. So I'm happy about that, just because nobody could ever agree on what the correct form of matchmaking should be, so they just kind of implemented or are going to implement both and change it accordingly. But what I'm kind of disappointed about, being kind of in the PvP scene, is the fact that there is no ranked mode that they have announced yet. Like, they have competitive play, and the thing that I've been kind of saying and talking about on my stream and tweeting a lot is, just because you add the word competitive to the playlist does not make it competitive.
No,
like,
there needs to be an incentive.
Like, just calling it, exactly. There needs to be other factors in it. There needs to either be a rank, or there needs to be some type of reward just based on winning in it for competitive to actually mean something. And just because it's skill based, I don't think that makes it that. And I don't know if I'm alone on that opinion, or I don't know if a lot of people agree, but
well, when it went in,
being a competitive person.
I was like, I sort of wondered, I was like, wait, this is competitive. This is like, I didn't know the difference between competitive and quick play. And I was like, oh, it's just different modes. I mean, I sort of agree. Like, different modes doesn't necessarily mean competitive, but that mode though is really good at encouraging competitive gameplay though. So,
well, I mean, everyone's going to go into a game. They're not going to go into a game to throw per se. Well, I mean, actually, yeah, people do that.
Played a lot of Overwatch.
They're trying to get into gold on PC. I swear to cow, if I yo-yoing. Anyway, it's very much a good base point to start, where they're wanting to get into. I've heard inklings of people that Bungie want to get into the MLG esports 420 no scope Mountain Dew wallbanger fucking set.
Air horns.
That is fine. As much as I'm taking the piss, that is perfectly okay. Institute a ranking system so people can go in and go, okay, I'm playing at silver tier, I'm playing at gold tier, I'm playing at masters, blah 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 blah, and then pick your teams from that.
It will come though. It will come, right? They're just not ready. They're not ready to announce it.
I can guarantee you. Like, after
Swoly doesn't look convinced there. You don't think it's on the way?
I don't look convinced, just because Luke Smith in his interview with Kotaku said they are not going to be doing a ranked mode.
Oh yeah, they did say that. He
said that, and then he said, "We have something planned, but I don't want to commit to it." So
yes, he did say that. Okay.
What does that mean?
it's a common thread on this podcast that we know that Luke Smith is a fucking troll. So no, he has said some things that have passed and have not come to pass over the time of Destiny. So I take anything Luke Smith says with a grain of salt.
I mean, you've only got to look at how a few things that he says can be taken out of context for fucking Lawmageddon that was 2 months ago, where I was like, oh my god, does Destiny 2 even have a story? Fuck.
But no, if they do go down that path of a ranked playlist, go for it.
I think we're going to see something.
Go for it.
Just from my sort of perspective as an average player, I think they need something. You want to know who among your friends is the best like, and it's not. Yeah, Sloth's pointing at himself for those listening. Fucking hell.
I know what you mean.
You do have a career in comedy after all. Anyway, so like I think that it's important that like you can come up against someone in a game and get absolutely owned, right? And then without having to go to bloody a third-party website that tracks their stats and see what their ELO is to go, oh, they're heaps better than you. You can click their profile and they're gold tier. Oh, okay, fair enough. No, right. I was punching well above my weight. Like, well, at least I gave him a bit of a run for his money.
But, and I think that actually makes, like, for someone like me that doesn't play a lot of PvP, it would be nice to know if I'm getting stomped by a diamond player, because then I go, you know what, I can aim for that. I know that I, was never going to win that, and I can feel good if I killed them once or twice or whatever. But now I want to get better so I can, like, climb those ranks. It provides an end goal for more PvP players, I think, to have some sort of ranking.
Right, that's what I was going to just say too, is that right now, like in Destiny 1, if you're playing in the regular playlist and it's not trials and you're not helping people, there's no point. I mean, for fun, other than fun.
Maybe a few drops here or there, there's no real point, yeah.
Exactly, there's nothing to work towards. But I think that's what a ranking system kind of brings to PvP in different games, is it gives people who only like PvP or main PvP or whatever you want to call it something to aim towards and work towards, and a reason to kind of keep playing the game when they get bored of it.
It'll definitely help if there's. I know that I think it was Luke Smith that said this. Correct me if I'm wrong. That they're trying to not have as many content droughts. So if they institute a ranked playlist per se, that will keep at least the PvP guys, the dudes that play PvP. So i.e. SwolyBible, people in the chat. So we've had some people come in who are PvP players. And PvP players only. It's
probably more what I do than like PvE, but I'm just not very good at it.
Well, I mean, get good, but no, it's
I think
it's a good aim for them, if that makes sense.
I think also in that vein, if they can have something like this waiting in the wings to bring out after 3 months when things start to die off to bring everyone back in again, they're gonna sit on it, man. Like we're gonna. It doesn't mean just because they're like, oh, we've got a better plan for rollout stuff. Why are there no private matches from the get-go? Well, because it's going to come down the line with fanfare of here's the new content that you patterned.
It's true. It is true. I mean, it's like, there's going to be so many people playing regardless of what features they give out in the release. So, like, why wouldn't you sit on something that you can release later down the track that will bring players back?
Yep.
And another argument to that is that Destiny is supposed to be a PvE game at heart. And I think adding the private matches and adding a ranked playlist in the beginning of the game is going to take away from the tons and tons of work that they put into the story and the open world and adding all these new features and everything. So it's a good way to. I mean, for me, I play PvP all the time, but anytime a new expansion comes out, anytime something like that comes out, I'm only doing PvE for 2 weeks straight, and then I go back to PvP.
Yeah. Oh, like well, I mean. You don't have to, but for me, like you want to play the story of the game you're playing and then go back and play it. Like I said this last night actually to Cog, to one of the dudes I was playing Halo with, and he said PvP should be taken out of Destiny. I said no.
Oh, he's just being an angry little ginger.
He is, but he raised a valid point. He said PvP should be taken out. I said no, it shouldn't. He goes, why? And all they do is listen to all Bungie do is listen to the biggest streamers, and I'm not naming names because that is not what we do here. But
we do here.
There are some people who hold significant sway with Bungie, and they are PvP only streamers and content creators. That being said, they are allowed to do that.
Oh, it's just an opinion.
It is an opinion from them, or not from me, but from them, this weapon is OP. I have X amount of followers saying the same thing. It must be OP. No,
I don't think
they've got to listen to the entire community, and the entire community is both. Sorry, it went a bit wayward there, but do you get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, dude. And you know what? If you've listened to some of Dado's more recent videos, obviously this is not PvP side, but you get the same thing in PvE, right? With raids particularly. And he's really good in regards to his opinion of himself has changed a lot, and he realizes that when he criticizes raids that were too easy, he realized that he's in the top percentage of teams that can clear that stuff, and that opinion doesn't represent everyone.
Yep.
And he sort of come out and said, like, you know what, like when X raid came out, and I was like, this is horseshit. This is nowhere near what I wanted, like a World of Warcraft 8-hour raid with, you know, X amount of people, and it wasn't hard enough. But yet the rest of the community still haven't completed it once, or still can't find time to get together. So I do see what you're saying. I think that on the PvE side, I don't really follow the PvP community enough to know, but I definitely feel like the PvE content creators have an understanding now that they only represent a small percentage of the community, and that some of them getting really good at just making sure they get feedback from everyone and giving a much more balanced opinion of content when it's released.
All right. I mean, again, I apologize if anyone didn't get my little rant before. It was going somewhere, and then my brain stopped.
So what? Sloth dishing out a rant that no one gets? No, that's never happened before.
It shuts your mouth before I shut it for you.
It's the squeaky wheel gets the oil, all right?
Yeah, it's very much.
That's what it comes down to. And you know,
some people only play games for the multiplayer, i.e. Battlefield. Battlefield has a lot of people that just play for the multiplayer. Same with Call of Duty and all that sort of thing, and Bungie is no exception. They need to bring up the standards of the multiplayer to meet the community halfway, I guess.
Maybe.
If that makes sense. And I think D2 with the beta and the gameplay at the moment has certainly put a step in the right direction. If that makes sense. Again, sorry, it's fine.
Right. Well,
where we going now? Where we going now, Log?
I don't know. I mean, maybe we just close up. Honestly, like we've probably talked over every bit. Like, there's not much we can really touch on. Yeah.
Discussion.
Just, I guess, in closing, is there anything? Maybe from everyone we'll get their favorite thing and their least favorite thing from the beta. Okay. And I'll go first. My favorite thing is 100% seeing the striker just going berserk. Like that, for me, that whole subclass has gone to another level because it is so much more fun. Probably, as Swoly touched on earlier, the whole health thing and the fact that you now have a class that you can play seemingly with reckless abandon, but you can't because your health takes forever to come back, and it forces you to be slower and more deliberate about everything. It's a bit of a juxtaposition for me in that it feels like I want to go one way, but I have to play another. So I don't know. Time will tell. I mean, it's a very small sort of amount of time I've spent playing it, so I can't be too critical.
Yep. Matthew.
Number one thing, this is going to come as a shock. I'm really enjoying the competitiveness, the competitive label of Countdown. I've never really had that enjoyment from a PvP match before, and I feel like they've balanced it to the point where they will reward teamwork and communication. And I'm people don't know, but I'm actually a big fan of PvP games like that. Like, I got into Rainbow Six Siege. I'm playing MOBAs and stuff at the moment. Like, that's definitely where I like to play PvP games, and I feel like that to me has been really cool to sort of find that enjoyment in PvP, which I've never really had in Destiny 1. The thing I dislike the most is how some of the changes to Crucible have sort of dumbed down or made a bit more boring PvE, like particularly with super recharge rates and power weapon drops. I feel like the primary weapons and your kinetic and energy weapons just are a bit dull to run through strikes with. You know, I think when you chain combos together and supers and you got your power weapons and rockets, it just keeps the pace ticking along a little bit nicer in PvE. And I think there might just need to be some changes to super recharge times and power weapon drops in PvE.
Swoly, what are your thoughts, brother?
I'm loving everything that they're doing with PvP. Pretty much, I love 4v4 ever since they implemented like zone control and private matches. 4v4 was my favorite thing to do in Destiny 1. So I love the gunplay. I love the team play. I love the abilities. I love how much thought they put into each class in PvP. So overall, PvP is a home run for me. I think the thing that I'd like to change, and they probably already have implemented some of these changes since they said PvE is not in the final build, or this isn't the final build. It's a few months prior to their final build. Is just maybe some increase to ability regeneration. I know they're adding more power ammo and stuff like that to PvE already. Or just more orbs when you do super so that you can chain supers or something like that. But overall, just a really, really good impression.
Yeah. It's just so solid, I think. Like, for me, for a game that is not finished being made, it's just incredibly solid in terms of the, like, gunplay and things like that. Like, the fundamentals are all there. Sorry, Sloth.
There's a question in the chat from Fancy Potato.
What a name.
The update that they put out. Okay, so the update, to the best of my knowledge, dude, is they've gone from only connection-based matchmaking to having a priority connection-based, but also adding skill-based. Is that correct? That's correct, yes?
What, the little patch this morning?
Don't know.
Yes.
I don't know, man. Because
was that not in the T?
No, in the TWAB.
I don't read the
TWAB. You need to read it, man. Come on.
Well, the stuff that was definitely added in the update was a pre-order icon, which was not there before. That was 100% added. So there, in your directory, there is actually a pre-order icon, which was what wasn't there yesterday. So that was definitely added. It was only a very small update. It was only like 100 megabytes or something like that.
Again, like so there you go. It may not have been that. We were talking pre-stream. Words. Anyway, guys,
we were discussing Sloth's ignorance pre-stream.
I am very ignorant, guys. Very ignorant. Guys, in the chat and dudes in YouTube, can we get a massive thank you for Mr. SwolyBible, who coming on the podcast and chatting shit and putting up with us being Australian and all that sort of thing. So thank you so much, dude. We really do appreciate it.
Where can we find you, Swoly? Where can we find you, dude? Where can people get...
There we go, done froze. You can find me twitch.tv/SwolyBible. Twitter, it's in the chat right now. Twitter is SwolyBible TV. I'm on every single day, 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock Pacific time, 6, 7, 8 hour streams sometimes. So if you guys want me, want to come hang out, want to come chat, that's where you can find me.
If you guys want to learn how to pick up chicks on Twitch, Swoly's your man.
Oh, wow.
Oh, dude, you are going to be swarmed with fedora-wearing neckbeards. Oh, my God.
Oh, Matt. I'm gonna like get hold of Danny's details and just be like, you see what your boyfriend is doing?
She came in before. She came in, and I'm so used to Rach coming in behind me that I instinctively turned around when I saw someone walk in the back of Matt's camera. Like, oh. All right, we're going to end there. We're losing the plot as we normally do at the end, but we're going to raid into today. Me. I'm going to stream immediately after this, so if you're in the stream, just hang around for 5 minutes, and it won't even be that. I'm going to kick my stream straight off, so we'll host into that. I think, Matt, you were going to hang around for a bit and play some Crucible, were you?
Yeah, I'll hang around, but the thing is, this is what you need to know.
Oh, God, he does this.
You don't need to look for the law. The law will find you.
Oh, my God. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I've been Sloth. He's been Log. He's been Matt. We've got a special guest, SwolyBible TV. See you next time.
Bye.
Jesus.
Solid. Sloth's outro game is solid, man. You can do it every week. Fuck yeah.